Doesn't the week fly, team? It's happening again. It's a whole week, and if you're here for the first time, it's Kam Dovedi from Premier Property. I'm the founder of Premier Property, an investor developer of the last 29 years, and today I'm here to help you answer questions. Answers to questions that you have in property. And the questions that are being brought here are from our Premier Property Inner Circle, people that are really on it, moving forward in property, no matter what. And I don't know what it is today. There's such an exciting vibe going on today in the office. I don't know if you're feeling it. Hopefully you're feeling it too. So let's jump in and answer your questions. So first up, we have a question by Adam Wu, a serial investor, a serious investor, and always very detailed, as is the question. Right, so to enhance the PD session, okay, following the Q&A Cam did, blah, blah, blah. Right, so he's got a property with a floor plan, details, measurement are... Okay, let me read it. Let's read the question. So, for instance, in the floor plan, with detailed measurements below, repositioning the kitchen to a large lounge for open plan will create a third bedroom, says Adam. But the flat is 782 square feet or 73 square meters, hence the detail. The detail is very important. Does such a 3-bedroom flat have to meet the minimum floor size of 84 square meters? Asks Adam. Well, Adam, here's the thing. If you are repurposing your flat and the room that you are creating is minimum 6.52 square meters and it has a window, where, you have light coming in and, you have that room, then that can be a bedroom. And because you're working within permitted development, it's not a new build, and that's the key, then you are within your rights to do that. Of course, you've got to work to space standards and so on, but you're doing that. So yes, Adam, you're absolutely right. These are things that you can absolutely be doing. And of course, let's think about how you can add value, how you can create income, how you can create that uplift. And of course, in our country, and in our country only really, when you think about it, across the whole of Europe, what do we measure really our values by? It's really bedrooms, isn't it? And when you think about it, so absolutely you can be adding value by adding that extra room. Let me give you some more. So typically at Premier Property, we look at this in 3 ways. So properties under the value of 160,000, what you typically find is by adding this extra bedroom or converting within the space that you have and adding this bedroom, you will find you've typically added 20,000 to 25,000 pounds in our experience by literally doing that. Boom. And it gets even better. We look at properties where they are the value up to 500,000. It could be the same house, but the same type of house in a different area. You will find that up to 500,000, you are adding anywhere between 40 to 45,000 pounds in value. Now that's a boom. And if you take it to the next level, where you're looking at areas such as Southwest London, SW1, and those kind of postcodes, wherever you are in the world, then you will find up to £1 million property, same type of property, just different location. You are adding anywhere up to £80,000. Now that's not a boom, that's a blast. So Adam, great question there. Some awesome details in there. Thank you very much, and hopefully that answers your question. Lovely. And I've got to say hi to the people that are watching this here live on Facebook. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, well, you're very welcome. If you're enjoying this, you can subscribe, you could do that, and you can click on that bell icon and just make sure you get these Q&As every single week. Lovely. So, like I say, who's joining us? I can see Ivana. Ivana is here. We also have Pancho. Lovely. And there's a number of you here, and we are doing this on Facebook, so I can see a number of you here. Brilliant. Okay, great. So, jumping into the next question that I want to answer for you. This is a question by Andy Jones. And Andy Jones is asking, what are the key questions to ask an owner when inquiring about a disused pub, which may be good for a development? Andy asking. Andy, of course, another one of our Premier Property Inner Circle members. Andy's really on it every week. He's moving forward. I love guys like Andy, just moving forward all the time. So Andy, to answer your question, one of the specific, there's a number of things, and in the time that I have, I'm going to share with you one of them, and that is really, well, actually two. I'm going to share two with you. So one of them is actually checking out, is it a freehold property or is it a leasehold property? Now, really, when you're looking at these types of scenarios, you want it to be a freehold. Leaseholder, if you're a leaseholder and you've got a freeholder there, of course, there's only a number of years on that lease. And also, you're going to be a little bit subservient to that freeholder, aren't you? So look for the freehold pubs. That'll be my number one tip when it comes to pubs. And secondly, I'd also ask you to check on the covenants that can actually come along with pubs. Because as we know, pubs, have been around for centuries, haven't they? And they've got some interesting covenants which, can have been, could have been put in place like 200-300 years ago. Rules that are not really around anymore. So, these are things you want to be checking in. So specifically, things that are associated with the church, for example, so chancel scenarios. Chancel scenarios, have a look at those as well, just to make sure you're clear of those as well. And yeah, check the paperwork. And that is some of what you can do when you're assessing pubs. Liking your style there. Brilliant. Adam is saying, thank you, Cam. You were frozen on the screen and I missed your answer. Shall watch the video. And Adam, you say that every week and then you come back every week. May I say, I love the fact that you're moving forward. Good man. Right, okay. So moving forward, as we say, next up we have another question. This is from Anna Zeta. So one of our lovely Premier Property Inner Circle members, a lady that is moving forward dramatically fast, and she likes fast, trust me. So what is she saying? Right, so I have an old fuse box to be changed by the socket, but the sockets look fine to me, she says. I was happy I did not have to do the full house rewiring, but the contractors tell me now that I should rewire because they don't want to take responsibility for the older electrics, okay? Example, if they cause fire damage to the property during the works or afterwards, yeah, which makes sense, they will do a full strip out plastering and extend the electricity service to new extensions and want to do full rewiring as part of that work. Any advice on whether I should push back on rewiring or is it necessary? Anna is asking. So Anna, thank you for your question. And you see what I mean? The lady takes no nonsense. She's on it moving forward. So Anna, I don't know what it is now. We work with a number of contractors and they're very good contractors, to be fair. And they're a little bit opinionated. And electricians, I don't know what it is, typically, good people, we get on with them really well. But typically they enter the house and the first thing they say, I don't know what it is, it's like an automatic switch that goes off and just says, "Did you get that automatic switch?" That wasn't a joke, but yeah. Okay, so they have this automatic switch, the way they're hardwired. They'll just walk in and they'll just say, "Full rewire." Yeah, it seems to be the standard comment. But actually the truth is that sometimes it's just a case of changing the consumer unit. So have a look at the wiring. One of the telltale signs for this is if you are, and remember, I'm not an electrician, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business person, that's what we do at Premier Property, and I'm sharing this with you from the entrepreneur's perspective. So typically, if the wiring, the sockets are actually in the skirting of the property, and you have the old fuse box, the old sort of black, dark grey fuse box where you got those pull-out fuses, you know what I mean, with the little wire in the middle, yeah, that type of thing. Well, if that's the case, then what you'll find is that it probably is the case that you need a full rewire, and the electrician is absolutely right. If the sockets are not in the skirting and they're above the skirting, it means that actually that, at some point, there has been work done to that rewiring. So they're probably, newer standards. And if you also check that, you've got the old fuse box, you do need the electrician's advice on this, but typically what this means is it just needs to change the old fuse box. So all you need is a new consumer unit, if that makes sense. So I would ask the question to these electricians and I would check these points. So, from that you can make a confirmation. Now, If you find that it seems to you that you don't need a full rewire, then remember, you don't have to go with just one electrician. Go with somebody that you actually value, that you can trust. So I would suggest that you get 3 estimates as a bare minimum, check in with 3 different electricians, and what you'll find, quite interestingly, is that each and every one of them will have a different viewpoint. Some flexibility in their thoughts. So have a look at that, get 3 estimates, and then go with the one that makes sense for you. And of course, if they all say it's a full rewire, then probably is the case it's a full rewire. However, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised from what you're telling me here. So there's some more action for you, Anna, because I know I like action. And I know there's a number of action takers that are watching this. And yeah, we're doing this on a weekly basis. We're having a bit of an exciting vibe going on today. Slightly silly, very informative, and let's crack on. So you can click on that bell icon and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next question that's coming up here is from Ads. Ads is another one of course, our Premier Property Inner Circle members at Premier Property. And Ad is saying, when watching training videos, you mentioned it is not advisable to source for buy-to-lets in high growth areas. Why is that? And then he's asking, also I'm finding it hard to properly understand that no money in concept. What is the correlation between no money in and the related margins on a property that can be achieved? So you got a number of questions within a question. Ads, I like your style. So at Premier Property, we have a number of strategies that are working, and we have 3 specific gold mine areas, which different areas where you can be investing in, and we use a different strategy in each of these areas. So my point is that for buy-to-lets, what I'm sharing here is that what we find, and you'll find, is when you've got purchase prices less than £160,000, well, at that point, your yields tend to be the highest. So I'm not saying you can't do buy-to-let with a 300k property or a 500k property. Yes, of course you can. But all I'm thinking about is, what is your return as a yield? And the price points where 160k or less, the rental in comparison tend to be higher. So you will find that your yields are higher. That's why we put that remit on there. And of course, 160k or less, you're typically looking at satellite towns around larger towns and cities. So that's a really crucial number to be working from to really maximize on what you're doing, if that makes sense. Yes? Now, that's the first part of your question. The second part of your question is, now at Premier Property, we have the Premier Property bar system, which is you buy, you add value, and you release seed capital. And when you do this well, every part of these 3 parts, you will find that you have none of your own capital. Your seed capital is returned back to you. So when you buy, we always buy with a discount at Premier. When you're adding value, you're uplifting that property. And the third part is you're releasing the seed capital. Now, when I say, releasing the seed capital, it works for every strategy in property, every single strategy, everything that we do at Premier Property. We make sure right at the beginning, it's a no money in deal. And we are using our Premier Property bar system, which as a third part, like I'm sharing with you, is releasing the seed capital. Part of releasing the seed capital can be refinancing. So refinancing is not the only way of releasing that seed capital. It's one of the ways that you can do this. Now, if you're interested in hearing more and you're watching this, then feel free to comment and feel free to ask questions here as well if you're watching this on YouTube. And I will do my best to answer your questions. And I love to hear your comments and your experience as well. Yeah, so feel free to join in and comment on these videos. So hope that helps you there, Ads. Food for you to think about. That's the reason that we do this, and that's how we work out the no money in deal using our Premier Property bar system. Brilliant. So excellent. There's a number of more people joining us. I can see some of you here. So Cecilia has just joined us as well. Hi, Cecilia. Good to see you. You're here on the live, and this is recorded on YouTube. Okay, so the final question I want to share with you right now is by Ali Haider, and Ali is asking, a question here about conservation areas. So how can you check the conservation areas? Well, quick answer for that one, I'm going to share it right now. I just want to remind you, if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. And you can click on the bell icon to see the videos that are coming up. I'll be sharing this with you same time, this time next week. So be sure to check in on the next release. And as I've mentioned earlier, if you want to ask your questions, feel free to ask. We'll do our best to help you at Premier Property. So Ali's question is a short, sharp question. And I want to share with you a short, sharp answer. So Ali is asking, how can you check if the particular postcode is within a conservation area or not? Well, Ali, we go to our friend. So our friend Google. So you can literally Google this, and you will come up with a considerable amount of information from the local plan, the local authority. So have a look at the local authority website. You can start from Google, of course, and also you can check quality websites. Like here's one that comes to mind that you can really use well. It has a lot of data, and that is home.co.uk. Now, there's many websites that give various types of information, but at Premier Property, we find that this one is one of the most useful, and I hopefully finding this session very useful for you. So yeah, check those out, and you can find out whether or not it's a conservation area. And as I've already mentioned, check with the council, and that can be really clarified. So brilliant. Hope you enjoyed this short, sharp session. Hope you got a lot of value from it. It's Kam Dovedi at Premier Property, taking your property investing and helping you to take it to the next level. I will see you right here this time next week. See you later.